Morning, Reds. Welcome back to the Kop TV, Hot Kopics, the podcast that myself and Doyle do every single Monday for your pleasure, right? And it's a pleasure to do.
It is a pleasure
when we win.
Yeah.
But smash that like button, get your old comments in, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. As always, another big week. We go again on Sunday. How are we, fella?
Not very good, lad, after yesterday, I tell you that, mate. Bad weekend. Not a great weekend.
Well, it's a good Well, I'll tell you why it was a good weekend.
Oh, yeah.
So me and Doyle went to the pub on Saturday to watch Arsenal-Everton. Happy with that, weren't we? And then, right, we start, and I never bet. Apart from if it's like fair play exchange or whatever on DR. But yeah, me and you were not really like betters, are we?
Not at all.
But I got a call from my dad over in Tenerife to say, stick a tenner or stick some money on Nick Rocket, yeah, for the Grand National. So I obviously shared that tip with you and our other friend Effie. And we went to the bookies because we don't like doing it on the apps. We went into an actual bookies, put the money down, and we won.
Yeah.
So at least we won something this weekend.
I got 3 out of the 5 horses, me, lad.
Yeah.
And I picked 4, so lucky. And that was the only good part of the weekend, actually.
Yeah. And we had a bloody good old night on Saturday celebrating our winnings. But yeah, obviously yesterday it didn't go to plan at all for Liverpool. And we're going to deep dive into this because I think it's time to ask a few questions of the manager of the team as well. So what we're going to do is start off by obviously going through the game, and then we're going to talk about, is there any mistreatment of a couple of players? Do we need maybe a bit of a bigger rebuild in the summer that maybe we thought we would do initially? So let's go through it chronologically. I mean, I said it in my instant match reaction yesterday. That first half was the worst 45 minutes defensively of the season.
Yeah, it was.
The good thing about it is we're never going to make 3 mistakes like that in 15 minutes. It's rare that we make 1 mistake like Curtis Jones, like Robbo, like Van Dijk. But to make 3 in 15, I feel like that's out the way now. And the vibes I got from this game were a little bit like the vibes I got from Watford. Remember when they stopped our, I think it was 45 unbeaten run. And we can speak about the negatives and, you know, what needs to change, but the overall feeling is still one of calmness, and it's our first league defeat since September.
It's our first
since
away
your birthday.
Defeat.
And it's our first away defeat.
Balance, you know what I mean? One away win, one away loss, 1 home loss.
Yeah. And I actually said, fairly tongue-in-cheek, but I was like, if we only lose 1 game this season, I'll be pissed off. So we've lost 2 now. So it is what it is. But the mistakes were pretty much unforgivable. The one of maybe a couple of positives in the game, Doyle, was McAllister's goal. Yeah,
great. Even that, though, it was a really open game. We couldn't quite carve any chances. So Maca just went, go ahead, I'll hit this. And it went in because he's got a belter shot. Yeah, boss.
The technique on that strike.
And that was the problem right there. That's where the problem started. And you know why it started? Because we thought we were just going to win. Yeah, we looked at this team and went, yeah, we scored a belter goal here. It's an open game. We're Liverpool. We're just going to win this game of football.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why we lost.
And I think every Fulham fan, every Liverpool fan, after going 1-0 up, it's like, that's it. We don't really throw away leads under Arne Slot. So, yeah, 1-0, amazing goal. I think it will probably go down as, you know, maybe the goal of the month.
Brilliant.
The technique on it. I mean, first of all, to actually win the ball against Sander Berge, who had a really good game, kind of hold him off, settle yourself. And I think the defenders were backing off because they're like, he's not going to shoot from there.
Yeah.
But it was around about 22 yards out.
Belter shot.
He kind of just allows himself a little moment to settle himself. But, bro, the technique on that is one of the cleanest strikes I'll see this season.
Lovely. Ball stayed nice and still. Didn't spin. Just went top corner. Boss. Done.
Yeah, unbelievable.
No one stopping
strike. But then it all kind of crumbled. Curtis Jones has been at right back, as we know, deputising for Conor Bradley and Trent whilst they've both been out injured. I think that experiment is over now.
Yep.
Especially with Conor Bradley's cameo in the second half, gets an assist.
It was good.
It was really good. So listen, it's a ball in. Konate, even before that Curtis Jones mistake, because we'll call it a mistake.
Yeah,
clumsy, silly mistake.
Nearly gave the ball away.
But Konate, even before we scored the goal, was very
trying to do roulette in his own box, lad.
What are you doing there?
Don't know what he's trying to do. A little Zidane saying in the middle of the box to try and skin somebody. Complacency. That
Are
is
our centre-backs
complacency.
too chilled sometimes?
I would say no. Never, actually, because we've lost 1 game all season in the Prem, lad. But yesterday, Yes, mate. You can't be doing roulettes in your own box. I don't care if you 1-0 up. What are you doing? Just kick it out.
It was the roulettes in our own box. It was the back passes. It was the across box pass from Robbo, which I'm sorry, when you're playing football at 5 years of age, you get told never
hit it across the
hit
box.
it across the
Especially
box.
when you had
But bro,
options up the wing as well.
that pass, because I watched Match of the Day, the pass he was trying to get was Curtis Jones, who was free. There wasn't really an option down the line. There wasn't an option inside.
No, there was. There's two. There might have been two Fulham players there, but he still had options down the left wing.
But the technique of the pass from Robbo, that pass needs to be like a laces straight arrow pass, and he's kind of side-footed it and curved it towards our own goal.
Yeah.
So look, the Curtis Jones mistake, we'll go back to that. He expects Konate to head the ball away. It doesn't. So it's kind of hit his knee, goes across to Sessegnon, and it's a great finish.
It's one of them. It's a bit of an inexperience from Curtis Jones because his body position. As simple as that. It's not his fault. It's unlucky. But
he's
at the same time,
kind of facing in when he should be facing out.
Yeah. So a defender who's naturally inclined to get that ball out probably puts his body in a position to do so in case Konate misses it, because he's seen that ball come into the box 75 million times in his career, and he knows he might not get this header, so I need to make sure that I'm ready. And it becomes an instinct to do stuff like that, right? If it's Conor Bradley or someone like that, he just positions his body to just, as the ball comes up off the half volley, boom, just kick it out. Yeah. But it wasn't like that because he was unaware. And it was just lackadaisical, mate. It bounced off his knee.
Clumsy.
Yeah, it was. It bounced off his knee. He watches it in horror. You could see his face go, ah.
He doesn't react to it. He kind of just
He can't
hits his
do
knee
nothing, really. His body position has let him down, lad. That's what it is. And it's because he's used to receiving the ball in midfield. He's used to having an open body. The ball's going to come into my body, right? It's not like that in defence. You need to have a different type of position. You need to be facing outwards so that the ball doesn't ricochet either way. And it did. And it was a great finish. Like, we got to give it to Fulham. Every opportunity we give them, they snapped up.
Yeah.
It wasn't, they took it, mate, because the Premier League team. And also, this is the second time now they took points off us. It's not the first time.
They've
They did
got
it at
4
Anfield
points
as
off
well.
us this season.
They're a good
As
team.
a Forest.
That Silva must know how to play against slot system because he's done it 2 times now. It's not a coincidence. Same with Forest. These things don't happen by accident.
Very high press on us yesterday.
They got us, and you could see it, right? They played a forward with 2 10s behind them, and as soon as I seen that, I was like, they're trying to overload that defence, and it worked perfectly.
Especially in the first half.
Just make false mistakes.
The Sessegnon goal, maybe this is a harsh criticism, but could the keeper have done better? And if Alisson was in goal, could he have saved that?
I don't think you could save
Good
Alisson
strike.
was in goal.
Near
but
post,
I do
though.
think the keepers could have done better. The keeper could have done better on a few of the goals, lad. I think the Moniz one was one for me as well, where I was like, you probably could have got down a little quicker there. But, bro, it's not his fault. He's getting forced to do one-on-ones out of nowhere because someone's made a mistake in front of him, so he's got to make a snap. He's got no time to set himself. You can't be like, oh, I'm ready for this, because someone's made a mistake 2 meters in front of his goal, so he's just got to try and do what he can. It wasn't his fault. I'm not blaming the keeper, lad. It was a sham defending.
So that's 1-1.
Yep.
And then very quickly, it's 2-1. The goal from Iwobi. I mean, Robbo actually makes 3 mistakes in about 15 seconds there.
So what you said, he's got the ball. He's got plenty of time. You can choose. He's very experienced. We know Robbo's got a wonderful left foot on him when he wants to have it. He's got 2 options at the top here. And he's got Curtis Jones on the right, which we've seen happen loads with him and Trent. Switches it. Great, no problem. Goes to do that. Don't know if he kicks the floor or something.
Fairly risky pass, though.
Yeah, it is, but that's what you've got to do to win football games, lad. You've got to take risks.
Sure.
You've got to do passes like that, and you trust your ability of the players to be able to do that in the decision-making. But Robbo this season, we know, hasn't had his best season. And that game was indicative of some of the performances we've seen from him this season, which is a bit sad. And he seems to be lacking confidence in certain areas, and that pass was a perfect example.
For me personally, look, I'm not a Premier League all-time assisting left-back like Robbo,
exactly.
so who am I? But I think when you've just conceded a goal, even though that pass is on, just bang it up the line. Just send it up the line. Avoid pressure. Because if you do that, listen, it might not go to feet of our player, but I think, look, you'd have a quick look. You're getting closed down because we spoke about the 2 10s and the striker forcing Liverpool into mistakes. But if you understand that they're trying to do that, even though that pass might be on, that pass is only on if the technique is spot on. So actually, send it up the pitch and move up 10 yards.
I agree and I don't agree. I trust my players to be able to play balls
I can say
like
this in
that.
hindsight, easily, can't I?
So I trust my players to play balls like that. That's not difficult for Robbo. Like you just said, he's the all-time left back, assister. Like, he's an incredible footballer, lad. So no, I don't want him to play it safe. I want him to take the risks, but execute it properly, because that's why you get paid the money to play left back for Liverpool, because you take the risks to win football games for us. So no problem with you going for that pass. But how you executed it, terrible. And then he goes for the follow-up, where he's just got to get a nut on it.
Just
got to get something on it. Gets beaten to the ball, or it bounces off his shoulder or something. And then again, ball forced to Iwobi, who's about to take the strike, and he goes to block it. And to be honest with you, if he doesn't block it, lad, Kelly's going to save it.
Because it's not a great strike.
Yeah, and it's like the third time Robbo's done that this season, lad, where he's jumped in front of the ball, and it's deflected off him and went in. He did it against Arsenal as well. Was it Arsenal? Can't remember who it was against, but he's done that a few times this season. And it was just one of them comical string of errors that you just look at and go, it's not our day.
So, like, the pass, the header is your chance to redeem yourself. Just get it away.
Yeah.
But then I also think Konate didn't do a good enough job closing down Iwobi. It wasn't like it was really quick feet and he's done him and he's got all this time to shoot. There wasn't a good strike.
But I also think that's because Robbo's run across him. So he's like, oh, Robbo's going to cover this. And he did, but it just glanced off.
Which is that the third one's unlucky.
Yeah.
The first two are silly, bit naive, and the third mistake within 10 seconds is pure unlucky for me.
The second two are because of the first.
Yeah.
And that's it. So, yeah, Robbo's just got his old hands up here and go, I'm at fault for that. That's my fault. Someone else's fault in that situation, lad.
I think you're right. If he left that, or he didn't get the shout from Kelleher, though, so the communication was
It's not his fault that it's glanced off
really.
him. It's just comical, lad. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And the poor lad, it's happened to him a few times this season, so now there's going to be question marks about him. And then, honestly, right, I text P Mac going, oh, they've just nearly scored, because I've seen Iwobi whipping like a little shot and Kelleher pushed it out. And I literally looked down at my phone, looked up, and he'd taken a corner, the second ball from the corner. I think it was second ball, third ball, something like that.
Yeah.
Comes over, and I'm like, yeah, right, Virgil's just going to clear this, lad, no problem. Easy. This is what Virgil does. Manice, no problem, lad. Don't know what happened, mate.
So you're right, it was the corner. It gets semi-cleared, and then Iwobi just kind of hoofs it up into the air, miss-kick.
Yeah.
And again, just like we thought with Beto, just like we thought with a couple others this season, Konate and Van Dijk haven't been great for the last month, I'm going to be honest.
The whole team is in the second half, haven't been great, lad.
But players like a Beto and a Muniz, like, listen, Muniz scored against us at Anfield, a really good finish. So he's had our centre-back's number this season. But for me, when that ball's up in the air, if you're Van Dijk, whilst that ball's in the air, you don't allow Muniz to have his hand and his back backing into you. You throw him out the way and get it gone, or you at least throw it out the way.
Cover the space behind him.
And you're covering the space behind you, exactly. But I have to say, even though we gifted them the first two goals, the third one, that touch out of the air, and the ball is spinning, it's up in the air, it was very sunny. Van Dijk's gone, there's no way he's bringing this down, which again is complacency. It's just creeping in little by little.
Premier League players, lad. You give a Premier League player a chance. They're some of the best footballers in the world. Like, we might not regard them as that, but truly, they are, because they play in the best league in the world. So if you give Muniz, who's deadly, a chance like that, mate, brilliant. Such lifted over Van Dijk.
When I saw Muniz starting over Jimenez, who's been on fire recently as well, I was thinking he's more manageable.
Yeah.
But that touch that he brings it down, Van Dijk's gone, oh shit. And then the way that the ball has bounced, it's allowed Muniz to take it on his knee so it doesn't break his stride, whereas Van Dijk's still trying to come here like I'm trying to grab you. But then again, the finish, he keeps it low and hard, but could Kelleher have got down a bit quicker?
That was the one. That was near post as well, wasn't it? Yeah. And it just goes underneath his body. That was the one where I thought you could have probably done better there, Kelly. But again, not supposed to happen. He's looking at Virgil van Dijk like, yeah, he's going to get this ball for me, no problem. And then all of a sudden, they've got a chance and they've scored, lad. It was as simple as that. It was like a real, not smash and grab, but 15 minutes of intensity from them where they just capitalised on every single opportunity that we give them, mate. It was our fault. Everything was our fault. Everything.
And it was also the first time Liverpool conceded 3 Premier League goals in a half since we lost 7-2 to Aston Villa 5 years ago.
Wow.
So, like I said, that's not going to happen again this season.
Hopefully not.
We're not going to make 3 mistakes like that across 15 minutes again this season. And I think when half-time came, everyone was saying, what has just happened there? How have we just conceded 3 in 15? And what is going on? Changes are needed. And this leads me on to the title of this video. There's a few players, Doyle, that I think personally have been underused and fairly mistreated this season. And what I don't want to do is criticise Arne Slot too much. The team that he has picked, the 13 or 14 or 15 players that he's really relied upon this season, have his team sitting 11 points at the top of the Premier League, which is a credit to the players and the manager. But outside of that 13 or 14 who he's been so reliant on, there's a few players who I think haven't been used enough. And two of them come off the top of the head. Harvey Elliott is one. On the way here, I was watching a reel of all of his goal involvements from the bench last season. The cross for Luis Diaz's header against Luton, the winning goal against Palace last season, the goal against United in the Cup, or it might have been the league last season. There is so many instances where Klopp almost used him as like the ace in the pack and went, right, you're going on now and you're going to change the game for me. So he's one. And you know how much of a big fan we are of him. Yeah, and again, he was great. He almost equalised for us yesterday in a tough game because Fulham's his old club. If there's one player you want to chuck on, it's him. But was it too late? And the other one is Federico Chiesa.
Yeah, I wouldn't say mistreated, right? Because of exactly what you just said before, where you say...
But if you underuse them, you're not treating them the right way.
I would say that it's his first year in a big job where there's massive stakes on the line. And he knows this team has been successful for him, so he's sticking with what he knows is working. But it's not. No, it's not. The second half of this season, we've got to be totally honest, has been drab. There's a reason why people have been coming out saying the quality of the league is poor. Because in reality, it is. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say this is the best Premier League season that I've ever seen, because it's not. But Liverpool can only play who's in front of them, and we've done well so far. But it's players like Elliot that we want to see, because he offers a different dynamic to any of the midfielders that we've got right now. Chiesa, for me, I think is on and off. He's been injured for loads of time, bro. At the start of the season, we got him, and he got injured straight away. So, yes, he should be used more, but he is starting to bleed into the team now a little bit. So we've seen him yesterday, he had a little cameo. But it's Harvey Elliott for me. I think sometimes when we're looking for that key pass or someone to be a bit creative, he's the only midfielder that we have to do that. Don brings great energy and he wins the ball back at the top loads. But his creative passing, in my opinion, it's not his key attribute. He's great on the run when he's getting into the box and he can slide it off to somebody or quick actions like that. But he's not the one that stands on the ball and can see a pass out the side of his head to whip it into. And you've seen it yesterday, lad. I think a few players... Gakpo as well, by the way, we've got to talk about him. He was not there yesterday. Mo Salah, not there yesterday, lad. There was loads.
The chance Mo Salah had as well on his right foot.
Should have buried it.
It was actually a Diaz cross, that one as well.
Should have buried it, lad.
That is not 9 times out of 10 because it's on his right foot, but
you expect him to score it, lad.
You expect him to at least hit the target. And it's one of those crosses where all the hard work has been done by the cross.
Just get it on target.
Just keep it down. Even if it's like through the keeper's legs. We see that goal quite a lot. Yeah. Muniz's goal was like that. But you're kind of watching it. And on the half volley, you need to get over it and keep it down. And you could see how disappointed he was for himself. He needed to step up yesterday, and he didn't.
Yeah, no one
Gakpo didn't. But I wouldn't necessarily blame Cody because, he's been in and out of the team as well. Diaz has obviously played really well against Everton. So, yeah, I'd actually have Diaz as our man of the match in the last 2 games.
So would I. He was great when he come on. He actually was. He was one-on-one. He was getting crosses in. He was making things happen. And then the second goal that we get was him, wasn't it? It was a great finish. And Conor Bradley had a great cameo as well.
And that's
I think we need to stop this. Like, put Conor Bradley there. Just stick him there now. He's our right back. Done. Yeah. Right? He makes a massive difference to the game. He's up and down the wing. He creates so much chances from that side. But in a different way to Trent, he almost links up the play without a pass, but with his runs. It's great, lad. So we need him on the pitch. And yeah, we need to see Chiesa and Elliot. I think the next game, I'd probably start Elliot, see what's happening there.
I think it's an absolute no-brainer to start Elliot against West Ham, especially because they're going to come with a low block. We've played West Ham twice this season. We've scored 10 goals. Beaten 5-0 away, conceded 1.
It has to be a battering tomorrow.
So I've got hay fever.
I can feel it myself, lad. I've got it in my nose.
Coming up. So, yeah, Harvey Elliott has to start, but because of what we've seen so far under Slot, I'm not 100% sure that he will start.
He won't. We've seen him. I seen like a Feyenoord fan talking about this and how he had a core group of players, 14 to 15 players, and that's what he stuck with his whole time. And that's what lots of managers do. But you can't do that in the Prem because we're going to play a million games and then players are going to get tired, especially some players like Diaz or Mo Salah who play really chaotic, energetic football, lad. You need to rest them, but Mo Salah's never going to be on the bench, ever. So it's difficult to try and find a spot for these players that you're talking about. How can you take Dom off when he's got us to the top of the league? How can you take Mo Salah off when he's the top goal scorer, top assist there, got us to the top of the league? You can't really. You've got to support them in the week games, and that's what Arne Slot will be looking at. But how many games now? 7?
7 to go.
7 games to go, lad. You can't lose the league from here.
No, we're not going to.
Right,
And that's what I wanted to.
That's the bit of complacency, because that's what that was.
That's a warning
Yesterday
sign.
was complacency. The team knew they were better than the team they were playing, but they didn't play like it because they thought we're just going to get across the line. And that happens with football teams, and that's why you were saying, this reminds me of the Watford game, because the Watford game was riddled with complacency because we literally just won the league. But guess what? We haven't done it yet. So we have to get over the line, because Arsenal will be looking at this and rubbing their hands together, but they still drew as well. So we're lucky. Honestly, the only reason why we're going to end up winning this league, I've said it a million times, is because Arsenal are worse than us.
No, I disagree.
It is that, bro.
I disagree.
Every time we've dropped points, they have.
So
If
it's
we
not
were
our fault though.
if we were going against the Man City sides that we have against the last 5, 6, 7 years, they'd be winning this league, lads.
But we still have gone against the same players have been there. It's
Yeah.
not our fault that they've had a poor season.
This is not our fault. No, that's what it is. It's not Liverpool's fault. Like I said, they can only play who's in front of them. But the reality is, the quality is definitely not as good. This is not like the Liverpool team of 3-4 years ago, and it's not like the City team of the last 6 years. It's not.
So the question that I've got for you guys, big hot topic: have Harvey Elliott, have Federico Chiesa been mistreated this season? Have they been underused? I would say yes. I think Harvey Elliott massively deserves to start the next game. I don't think Chiesa is necessarily seen as a starter yet.
Not yet.
But again, give him like a half. Let us see what he can do.
He had a big chance, didn't he?
He had a big chance, bro. And when you look, and this is what I will credit Arne Slot for, right? At half time, we needed a big change. Mentally, personnel. Took 10 minutes for us to change the personnel.
We were definitely better in the second half.
But we were really good in the second half.
Well better.
We won the second half 1-0, which still, didn't mean anything in the end. But the subs that he did bring on, and we can criticise sometimes his starting selection. The energy looks like it's gone a bit, but his best attribute this season, in my opinion, Arne Slot, has been the subs and his half-time team talk. So Conor Bradley comes on, gets an assist. His underlapping and overlapping runs are what maybe sets him in a different category to Trent.
Sharp, lad. He's
it might not
sharp.
be the 70-yard diags, but he'll get stuck into the tackle, which Trent won't do. And he'll also underlap, whereas Trent is more of an overlapper.
Yeah, because he likes to whip it in.
Yeah.
Do you know what Conor Bradley, because he's so sharp, his touch and his turn is also brilliant. The particular instance that I like to see from him, and I've seen it yesterday, sometimes the ball's coming over really high, lad, yeah, and he's got a defender in front of him, and sometimes he'll drop to the right here, and as it's coming, he'll do like a Cruyff turn, a sharp, quick Cruyff turn, which sends the attacker this way, and he can build into space, and he done it perfectly yesterday. Come over, does this, powers into the middle of the pitch, and now all of a sudden, we've got every red shirt running up next to him, and he's got a billion options to try and pick from. I really enjoy the energy that he brings to that squad, because when we're talking about the lads have run too much and they're tired and stuff, he's a lad that doesn't seem to get tired. He never seems to get shattered. He's always got energy, and you can see his youth, and I just need him in that team now to pick up the rest of them. But Arne Slot said yesterday they didn't lose because they were tired, and I agree, because they weren't tired, lad. They were just complacent. Massive difference. It was moments of individual errors that cost us the game, because if you really look at it, we weren't that bad.
Yeah,
like in the second half, we were good, and the goals we scored were boss.
But apart from their goals, which were
individual
you could
errors,
say 3 of them were individual errors. They didn't actually trouble us. Apart from that, which is easy to say because we conceded 3 and 15. Yeah. That's why we've lost.
We deserve to lose.
Deserve to lose.
Yeah.
But apart from that, they didn't really trouble us. So going back to the subs, obviously Curtis comes off, Connor goes on, Diaz comes on, Chiesa comes on, Elliot comes on, Nunes came on as well. Didn't do anything, but those 4 changed the game for us. And when I look at the impact that all of the subs have made this season under Arne Slot, it's been fantastic. It really has been. And I'm just saying, start Harvey Elliott, give Chiesa more minutes, start Conor Bradley at right back, and let's just switch up a little bit. I'd even bring in maybe Costas for the West Ham game as well, just to switch things up a little bit, and freshen up. Like when your TV remote, right, when it says the batteries are gone, and you just swap the batteries over, give them a little blow, pause, and just swap them over, and they work again.
Yeah.
You haven't actually changed anything, but you're just swapping over what you've got. So that's what I'm saying, right? Get the boys in to start the next game. And you mentioned Mo Salah and how he didn't step up, but because of his goals and what he's done, we're in this position. And I saw this stat, right? A Liverpool fan tweeted this. He said, 3 games Salah has been off it. But who cares, man? The lad has carried us for 7 months to a league title.
Yep.
Who wouldn't be wrecked doing that? He has earned us. Guess how many points Mo Salah has earned us with his goals and assists?
43.
50.
50. See, close, but still.
Bear in mind, we've got 73 points.
Brother,
Mo Salah.
I've got no problem with it. I'm not bothered. That's why I don't say Chiesa needs to start.
Right.
Because Mo Salah's a moments, man. So he'll play crap for 90 minutes of that game. And then on the 91st minute, he might have a moment where he'll score. That's what he does. So he's carried us. And we are only here because of him. Like, that's the difference between
but in the last month, he hasn't been great because it's been 3 losses and a win in the last month. PSG, Newcastle, Fulham. There was the Derby win in that as well. And obviously there was an international break there too. But people were saying, you know, Mo Salah's annual drop-off after February needs studying. Someone else said literally nobody gets held to these standards. Rafinha, Ballon d'Or Rafinha, 2 La Liga goals since December.
Yeah, there you go.
Mbappe lost to Valencia, who are getting relegated this weekend.
2 La Liga
goals? This is just this tweet. Dembele, no goals against Angers, the French team. And Vinicius has 3 La Liga goals in 2025. Salah's had 6 bad games all season, is what people are saying, which I don't totally agree with. I think he's had more than that. But yeah, I do agree that no one else gets held to the same standards that Mo gets held to because he's so good and his level is so high so often.
I think it's because
he has 2 bad games and they're like, look at this, he's falling off again.
I think it's because he excels massively in the first half of the season. He really does. He's done that for time, lad. He's always been really good at the first half and then sort of drops off energy-wise throughout the season. So people have like recency bias with it.
100%, that's what it is.
Yeah, and so they're like, well, he hasn't played good for 6 games, so that means the whole 8 months, 9 months that he's been the best player in the world doesn't matter. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, a season is 38 games long, mate. Or some seasons for good teams have 50, 60 games. Like, so I don't agree with it that he should be held to a standard that is no one else is, but it's because he's so good. It's just the way it is, lad. I've got no problems with him whatsoever.
My next question is, and this is a big hot topic as well, yes, Liverpool are still going to win the Premier League this season. On paper, you go, wow, what a team, don't need to change it. But after, especially the last month, and obviously with Trent, the contract news as well, who do you think Liverpool need to buy this season, this summer?
Need to buy?
Yeah.
Lads?
In terms of
a
positions,
bunch.
Let's do positions. Because I've got us down as needing 6 signings.
But a bunch. We need a left back.
Well, let's go through it. Right back?
Yes.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Centre back?
Yeah.
Left back?
Yeah.
Centre mid?
Yeah.
Maybe a CDM?
Yeah.
Left wing?
No.
Striker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right wing.
So 6 or 7?
Yeah, we need bulk. We need to absolutely
6 or 7.
Especially when you look at the team, right? There's probably going to be a lot of outgoings.
Well, let's name them.
Probably Nunes.
Yep.
Yeah. Who else?
Jota.
I've seen. Oh, this is sad to Liverpool fans. What I'm about to say. Nunes and Endo. Seen him getting, bro.
No.
Yeah,
I did not expect you to say
Frankfurt,
that.
Lad, Frankfurt are in for him.
No. I don't care.
I
He's still got 2 years on his deal.
But he's not super favoured by by Arne.
But Endo has been incredible this season when he's played.
I agree, but there's strong
I
with him in
disagree.
Frankfurt.
Keep Endo.
Nunes. I want to keep him.
Endo.
I want to keep him.
Or play him more.
This is not who I want to go, by the way. This is who I think is going to go. I want Endo to stay till he retires, bro. Love Endo, he's boss. But what I've seen is Nunes and Endo. And who else?
Could Jota go?
Obviously, the big 3. Virgil, Mo Salah and Trent, yeah. They're looking like, we don't know what's happening with them. So
I still think Mo and Virgil stay.
So do I, but we don't know. So right now, Virgil, Mo and Trent are leaving, and so are Nunes and possibly Endo. So that's 5.
And maybe Jota.
6. Yeah. So there's 6 players that we need.
Tsimikas will probably leave.
So do we need 13 players now? You know what I'm saying, lad?
It's impossible.
This is why we've got to win the league this season, because...
No, we will. And Alexis McAllister had a little quote after the game. I watched him on LFC TV yesterday. He said, I think there's going to be a lot of people saying this Premier League is done, but in the dressing room, we know that it's not. Show it then.
Yeah.
Win.
I think when we got across the line against Everton, that was a big relief, you know? And I think they was like, yes, that was a tough game. It's hard to score against them. We did it. We started well. And then again, it's all a mentality thing. We went into the Fulham game and we scored immediately. Let them like, yes, we're kicking on.
There you go.
We're going to go and win again. And then the complacency just set in because of it. They're not focused, lad. Or if it's not that they're focused, I think they're focused now finally on the end goal because they can see it and it's affecting their game. It's as simple as that. So just go out against West Ham now and absolutely show why you're top of the league. I said it again for that Everton. I'm sick of saying this. We've had such a crap 2025, you know. That second half of this season has been poor, bro. Like, I know we're at the top of the league and, you know, we're probably the most informed team before yesterday in the Premier League in the last 5 games, which is mad. But that's the quality of the league is just dropped. And I think that's what we've got to get used to is we're not the Liverpool that are going to get 99 points. We're probably a Liverpool that's going to get 84, 87 and win this league. And that's just lucky for us because the last 2 seasons it's needed 89. So, yeah, it is what it is.
When people saying this is like Arsenal fans especially obviously getting very loud. Yeah. As they do. Saying, oh, this is the worst champions we've ever seen. Can I just take you back to 97-98 season, Doyle, when Arsenal did win the league with a grand total of 78 points.
We've lost the league.
78
Liverpool
points.
have lost the league on more points than any team has won it on in the Premier League. Do you understand? Only Man City can sit there and say we've got more points than you. No one else can. Nobody. So Arsenal fans saying about the quality. Well, you're in that league, mate. So your team's being crap if you're talking about the quality of the Premier League. So, yeah, we've won it because we've only had to play what's in front of us. And you haven't won it because you've played what's in front of you and drew 11 and lost about 4.
Bro.
It's annoying, lad. It's annoying.
Instead of, like, internally discussing why Arteta has been off it a little bit this year, why a few players haven't stepped up to it, they're happy to go, oh, it's because injuries, it's because Liverpool, it's because PGMOL. And this other thing that I'm seeing at the minute, oh, there's an agenda against Miles Lewis-Skelly, that's why Liverpool are going to win the league. Let me just tell you this. There is, if there's any team that can, not that we stoop to them levels, but if there's any team that can confidently say that the PGMOL have an agenda against them, did you not see what David Coote said about Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp?
It's stupid.
But what? We've just carried on and won the league with it. Whereas Arsenal have gone, there's an agenda. They don't like Miles Lewis-Skelly. He's a fantastic player. We watched him on Saturday. That run he did to win that free kick on the edge of the box was unreal. And he's got some future ahead of him. But if you fall into the trap of saying he's getting sent off, he's getting mistreated, the referees are quick to book him, it's because he's very naive. And he's extremely reckless sometimes.
Yeah. And that's why you like him though as well. That's the same reason why you like him. Because he takes massive surging runs from left back, not covering his space, but he's got the ability to run.
But he's
and that's
a
why you like him.
by nature as well.
It's one of them, lad. Don't get me wrong, I do feel for Arsenal in certain ways. Like, there has been some decisions this season which have been crap. But there's also been decisions against everybody that have been crap. You're not the only team that's a victim of the PGML or whatever. You're not victims of the referees, lad. Everybody is victims of the referees. We just played Everton and Tarkowski nearly snapped Macha's leg, and everybody in the stadium and their dog could see that was a red card, but the refs couldn't. And you don't see us going, oh lads, you know what, they've got it out for us, you know, like if they... No, we don't care. We just want to win the games of football, lads. It's annoying. We've won the league because we've beat the teams in front of us, and you haven't. So you can talk about us being the worst champions. Would you have been the worst champions if you'd won it? You probably wouldn't have said that about yourselves, would you? But you'll say it about us. It's annoying.
And why aren't people saying, you know, like when we won the league 5 years ago and then we finished third the year after and everyone said it's the worst defence of a title. Look at Man City now.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Look at how easily they won it last year, and then this season they've been absolutely nowhere near it. By the way, what a ball fest that Manchester derby was yesterday.
Absolutely crap.
But anyway, there's clearly frustration because Liverpool aren't really playing to the level that we've seen for the last 7 months. How do you get back to that? It's a little bit of a reshape. It's putting a few, you know, putting more trust in the players on the fringes for sure. It's making sure that, you know, if Szoboszlai isn't having the best game, no problem. You come on 65, we're going to start Harvey next week, no problem.
Yeah.
Jurgen Klopp never had an issue with doing that.
No, he loved it. Harvey Elliot as well. I just want to just go back to what we were talking about with the Arsenal fans, because I know what's going to happen now is they're going to say, why do Arsenal always get brought into these conversations? It's not even a Liverpool channel. So I'm going to go right to the camera.
Yeah, go on. What you got?
I'm going to show you.
Let it focus on that as well. You might have to hold it there for a while. Come back a bit. Just for the audio listeners, Doyle is showing his phone.
Can you see that? Yeah,
Cameraman's coming in to focus the camera.
This is what we're talking about, right? Just read what this says. Like, genuinely.
DR Sports, this is.
Yeah,
so
read that out for them, Gilly. What does that say, lad?
Can't see it.
It says, the title is alive. Liverpool are generational bottlers.
Look how many likes this got as well.
Yeah. Like,
Jokers.
this is why. Right?
We're coming from an Arsenal fan calling us generational.
This is why
mad.
when we have these discussions, we get frustrated because maybe we're a little bit rattled. Not rattled, but I see that and I go, lads, can you just get out of this conversation? Like, what are you talking about in that instance? Like, why are you bringing that up? Why are you saying things like that? Obviously to get clicks and likes and whatever else, yeah. But this is why. Yeah, this is why. Yeah, now I know you got your name on the channel. But this is why we get frustrated, because that type of stuff is just outlandish nonsense, lad. Like, that's why we're getting frustrated. But just leave us alone.
Do you know what though? Luckily, and I touch wood. Touch wood, quick. Pause. Luckily, we've got West Ham and Leicester in the next 2 games. And do you know what is due?
Are they home?
West Ham at home, Leicester away. Do you know what is due?
A 4-0.
Yes.
A 4-0, lad.
Yes.
Yeah.
A slumping.
Yeah.
A rout. A romp. I want, in the West Ham game, we've already scored 10 against them. They got a good draw at home the other day to, I think Fulkrug did quite well for them the other day. Can't remember who it was against. But anyway, I would like a rump. I would like a reset. I'd like goals galore. I'd like a massive confidence booster. Because look, if you play West Ham, every game is that we have now from the end of the season is a Sunday, by the way. Every single one.
Is it?
No more Saturdays, yeah.
Oh my God.
Every single one is a Sunday. So you have to watch everyone play on the Saturday, which is a mental thing. And then obviously on Sunday against West Ham, if we win 5-1, the confidence goes right back up there. The party atmosphere comes back out. There's no one saying Liverpool shit. There's no one saying any of this. Go and show everyone. You don't need to, but go and show everyone why we are going to be the champions and show them, look, bash. There's bish, bosh, bash.
Bosh. They do need to go out and win. They need to go out and end strong, because we're talking about that recency bias stuff and people saying we're the worst champions. I really want to finish this league on 90 points. Like,
it's
I want
now,
90 points. Yeah, I don't think how many games we got? 7.
We've got 73 points, don't we? And there's 7, so that's 7 times 3 is 21. No, it can be done.
Yeah. So that would be 94 points, lad.
Yeah.
I want to end the league on 90 points, mate. I'm not joking, because I don't want no Arsenal fans saying, well, we got this points tally last year and we got this last year and you have won it on. I want to get higher than what Arsenal have got in the last 2 seasons, so that you can shut up.
They're playing Real Madrid tomorrow.
Fantastic. I hope you lose. And so, honestly, lad, you just need to go into this West Ham game, and we're lucky that it's a home game.
Yeah,
and absolutely blow them away.
Just before we end, 2 quick questions. If we did go through against PSG on penalties, we would be playing Aston Villa tomorrow night. They're the informed team in the league right now. I didn't fancy that smoke. I know we're Liverpool, we're used to this, but
I just want the Prem, lad.
So here's the second question. So, okay, you didn't want to play Aston Villa tomorrow.
Don't care. Yeah.
But my second question is, now we've only got 7 games left across 7 weeks, 1 game a week. Is there a part of you that wanted a midweek game this week to put it right, instead of waiting 7 days again to get it right then? Would you want...
For my anxiety and my competitiveness, you'd always want the next day to be another game so Liverpool can win and you can feel better about what's just happened the game before. But in the sense of, the players are going to get a full week's rest for the first time in the season every week now. Like, there is no excuse other than to really focus on this Premier League and get the wins. Like, that's it. It's 7 games. That's all we've got left. 7. Just crawl across the line if you have to do anything. But win.
I don't want crawling, man.
Lads,
I don't want limping.
I told you last week that there's going to be I don't think there's going to be a 4-0 against West Ham, lad. I don't. I think it'll be 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. It's going to be a tight game again. None of these games are going to be easy.
Anymore,
everyone's going into these games against Liverpool.
West Ham have got nothing to play for.
I know that, but everyone's going into these games against Liverpool thinking they can get something out of it because of the way we've been playing in 2025. And we've also got to go into it now knowing that there's a big prize at the end of these games. So every 90 minutes and every kick of the ball is important. The people, the human beings, it's going to affect their mentality. Believe me, and you've seen it yesterday, but in a negative way of complacency, because they could have beat that team. They could have, but they didn't because they were complacent.
The second half chances, if Harvey's shot goes
even
in, if Chiesa's goes
Jota's
in,
one-on-one.
Jota should be scoring
that. Yeah, it's like...
Chiesa's shot was decent as well.
The one where he chested it and then outside the boot, sort of.
Yeah.
It's one of them, lads. So I've got confidence that we're still going to win the league because of the points tally that we've got. It's 11 points, mate. And also the fact that Everton and Arsenal just keep dropping points every time we do. It's like, it's actually comical. Man City are looking at both of us, by the way, going, use a crap. Like, honestly, yeah, lad. Which is mad to say because we only lost 2 games all season, but we're just not hitting the heights. We're not smoking teams. We're not absolutely dominating. And that's just the way it is with us.
Come on, Liverpool, wake up.
Yeah.
Sprint across this line.
It's almost going to be a
sprint.
relief when we win the
And
league
my
rather
final
than a joy.
question to you is, if we limp across the line, and I'm talking like win it by 3 points or something, if we limp across, do you think Virgil and Salah go, yo, we've limped here?
I mean, everyone will do that, lad. Of course they will, but they'll still be happy.
We've limped.
Nah, I don't know if they'll get off because of that. The way they're going to go, that's a better team for
But
them.
it's all about the way we finish this title now.
Yeah, just
go
for
and
us.
smash everyone that's in front of you now, and then show people, oh look, we still got 91 points. Like we're still a very, very, very deserving.
Last 7 games
champions.
we've got, lad. Let's do it dead quick.
Leicester, West Ham,
3 points.
Leicester
3
away,
points.
Chelsea away.
So, West Ham at home, 3 points. Leicester away, 3 points. Tottenham at home,
Yeah.
3 points.
And that should have been the game that we win the league.
Chelsea away.
That could be the game we win the league if we win our next
4th of May.
4. That's it.
But
But by the way, if Arsenal keep dropping, then we
it'll
could
be
win
before
it.
that. Yeah. So
At
who've they got?
Tottenham. You'd have to look it up.
I think they.
But finish ours. So Chelsea, Tottenham, then Chelsea, then Arsenal,
Then Arsenal, and then
and then Brighton, then Palace.
then Brighton, then Palace. Lad,
And
there's
that's
no
it.
games left. There's not win this bloody league. Just get it done.
Sprint across
Honestly,
the
lad,
line, man.
I don't know. It's like, like I just said before, it's like relief that we're going to win the league rather than joy,
Yeah.
because it's so like we've been
And it
waiting
shouldn't
for
be
this
like
to
that.
happen for
It
so
shouldn't be
long.
like that.
It's like they're edging us, lad. You know what I mean? Like, just get it, just finish now. You know what I mean?
Jesus Christ. Anyway, there's your 45 minutes of frustration, relief, happiness, sadness. We've had it all in this episode. Smash that like button, get your comments in. And we'll be back throughout the week with more general news, videos, plus also a huge preview for the West Ham game. I'm going to be there. I'm sitting in the Upper Annie Road. You know where we sat for the, was it the
Bournemouth
game
Belter.
earlier on in the season? I'm sitting there.
They've got nothing
And-
to play for, lads. Got to go for them.
Oh, we have to smash it. And yeah, keep your head up. We're still going to win the league, but it is frustrating, right? We've got to be better. Smash a like button, get your comments in. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.